All right, guys. So what the heck is going on with these mystery drones, right? I mean, like first we got swarms of them zipping through the skies over New Jersey and Brooklyn and God knows where else. And I've even heard people saying that they're seeing drones in Florida. I mean, it's crazy. And then the Department of Defense and the White House, they're out here giving us responses that are just so freaking laughable. It's not even believable. Then they're telling us, oh, these drones, they're no threat. While they can't even explain what they are or who's flying them. So are we just supposed to smile and nod as drones are, hovering over our military bases and flying over Seaside Park like they own the place? And of course, we've got Trump ordering drones to be shot down over the White House while others are busy playing their political games at the Army-Navy game. And it's as if, to be honest with you guys, this ain't even the end of it. I actually have John Ferguson. Now, you may not have heard of John Ferguson, but you will by the end of this video. In fact, John Ferguson is the CEO of Saxon Aerospace, okay? And he just warned us that these drones are just a distraction. In fact, a lot of people are asking a distraction from what? Well, let's not forget about the warnings. Watch. Drones fall. Call the bomb squad. Don't approach. These are the warnings that we're getting. But it's like we're being invaded by drones and we're just supposed to take this quietly. The mainstream media, they're barely touching this. Meanwhile, George Stephanopoulos and his crew, they're just too busy spreading false claims and they're paying Trump millions of dollars for defamation lawsuits. In fact, $15 million was what ABC is on the hook for. Plus, I think ABC has to pay another $1 million to something. Oh, they had to pay $1 million to Trump's for Trump's legal fees. But yeah, let's just ignore all the facts, right? Ignore the fact that this drone watch is going on in real time with EarthCam streams going on. We've got Brooklyn patrols that are tracking these things live. And a lot of people are wondering, hey, are we being spied on? And if you listen to, White House correspondent, John Kirby, he just, he's given us I think a half-baked answer. I think he knows a lot more than what he's sharing. You guys let me know what you think. But this is bigger than just a few drones, guys. We need answers now. And you're going to get answers by the end of this video. In fact, I also want to send a special thanks to Patrick, Mr. Game of Drones. Thanks for the tip, my friend. I got your message not too long ago, and I did look into it, and it's looking pretty scary. By the way, guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. So, yeah, New Jersey has been on high alert due to a surge in unidentified drones or flying objects appearing in the sky. And these sightings, they're not limited to New Jersey. They've also been reported in Virginia, Maryland, California, and New York. And according to the comments of my previous video, they're even showing up in Florida now. In New York, an airport located 60 miles south of New York City had to shut down its runways for an hour because of drone activity. People are reacting and they're scared, and it makes sense. Governor Kathy Hochul of New York says she's had enough of these incidents and called on Congress and the Biden administration to take action. How many of you guys think Biden is going to take action and help out the American people to get information and knowledge about what's going on with these drones? Let me know, guys. Kathy Hochul, she's pushing for more federal involvement to address these potential security threats. And when I share with you what John has to say later in today's video, oh, you have no idea, guys. In fact, in a phone call with the media, administration officials claimed these objects do not pose a threat to the public. In fact, an FBI official says has mentioned that out of 5,000 reports that they've received, only about 100 cases warranted further investigation. So this tells me already that the FBI knows a lot more than what they're sharing. Okay. Most of the sightings have been explained as private drones or small airplanes. Some people have reported that some of these drones are like the size of a small SUV. That's a pretty big freaking drone. And they stated that there's no evidence of foreign involvement, and they believe that there may have been a slight overreaction to these events. I don't think so. They're trying to tell us to basically just calm down. They're saying that this is just a slight overreaction. So anyway, Congressman from New Jersey, He's frustrated. He's demanding actions and truth to ensure the safety of people and property. He believes that it is time for clear answers from federal authorities. Ocean County Sheriff's Department of New Jersey basically is, they've been actively investigating by using their own surveillance drones equipped with thermal cameras. But during an investigation in Seaside Heights, they saw multiple fast-moving objects that couldn't easily be identified. Residents and officials, they're kind of feeling frustrated by the lack of concrete answers. And they want to know, well, who's operating these drones? Where are these drones coming from? What's the purpose of them? And like, how are people identifying drones? And some residents, scarily enough, have decided to take matters into their own hands. And I just want to ask that you guys please don't do this. Some residents are actually attempting to shoot the drones down themselves. That is highly frowned upon. I would not advise doing that at all. I don't think that my viewers would do this, but I'm just putting it out there. But yeah, so these are objects that are hovering or moving in an erratic manner, and a manner that planes just don't do. And so the absence of jet sounds, which kind of helps out, it rules out airplanes. One resident expressed a lot of frustration, saying, "Hey, I think we deserve answers, and we're not getting them." Right. So federal officials, they're now sending enhanced detection tools to New Jersey to better monitor the skies for these drones. And Governor Kathy Hochul of New York is pushing for legislation that would give more power to law enforcement to counter drone threats and improve FAA oversight of drone activity. But the big question is this, like, everyone from the public to the sheriff's office to the government officials, they're asking, are these drones controlled by a foreign adversary? Are they part of a U.S. military operation? Are they pranks or copycats? Well, John Ferguson, he's got some answers for us. Okay, so let's hear from John Ferguson here. Let me go ahead and bring him on, and I want you to listen very closely to what John Ferguson has to say.
Hey everyone, my name is John Ferguson. I'm the CEO of Saxon Aerospace here in Wichita, Kansas. I'm not normally a TikTok kind of a guy. I like watching this stuff every once in a while. But I'm a manufacturer of unmanned aircraft, military grade unmanned aircraft, as you can see one of my systems here. There's all of these mysterious drones going on off the East Coast, and as a professional, as a subject matter expert, I wanted to give you all my opinion on what I think could be going on with these drones. I don't particularly believe that these have a nefarious intent. I could be wrong, but I want to give you the truth and what I believe. It's my own opinion, and I've not bounced this off of anybody. So, if you think it's bullshit, whatever, that's cool. I don't want to spread misinformation, as we know that there's a lot of that going around. But anyway, back in the 1980s, Ronald Reagan had dismantled the nuclear program, and there were, with Russia, there were countless nuclear missiles that were disarmed and disposed of. Well, there were over 80, I believe. There were over 80 nuclear warheads that were in Ukraine that came up missing. Okay, we don't know where they are. Maybe somebody does, but nobody really knows where these are. And I speak with some pretty high-level government officials on this stuff, and it seems as though that is the case. So I spoke to a gentleman a few months ago who was trying to raise an alarm to the highest levels of our government, which they had their ears closed, about this one particular nuclear warhead that he physically put his hands on. He physically touched this warhead that was left over from Ukraine. And he knew that that thing was headed towards the United States. Okay? That is a very serious deal. And everyone knows that the United States government, this administration, is pushing to get into a war with Russia We all know that. We all feel it. We all see it. Okay? Well, back up a few years. Do y'all remember when those drones were mysteriously flying across the Interstate 70 corridor from Colorado up into Nebraska, down here into Kansas, and out into Missouri? Well, it was believed that those drones were looking for radioactive material because there had been some material that come up missing here in the United States, and they felt like it was high probability that the nuclear or the radioactive material would be taken along the Interstate 70 corridor heading east or west or south. So from what we understand, they were out there trying to find this radioactive material. Now, drones, they have no reason to be in the air at night unless you're doing some type of ISR work, intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, looking for bad guys, or looking for a victim, a search and rescue victim, or law enforcement, or some type of military project, right? There's no reason for a drone to be flying at night, really, okay? Because they don't see shit. So, unless you have thermal optics, drones really don't see stuff. You need to do mapping during the day. If you're going to do farming stuff, you mostly do it during the day. The only reason why you would ever fly an unmanned aircraft at night, is if you're looking for something, whether it be a person or trying to smell gas. We have methane gas detection systems that can detect gas leaks in pipelines. You really wouldn't use thermal optics for trying to find gas leaks, just simply because the only way you're actually going to find a gas leak with thermal optics is if the gas leak is aggressive enough that it has a difference in temperature. Because thermal imaging, it creates a digital image based off of the temperature variance. So whatever is different in temperature, it creates an image. Usually gas leaks so slow that it goes quickly into ambient before you can even see it. So we have special sensors that can detect gas leaks. We also have special sensors that can detect radioactive material. So with this gentleman that I had spoken with, who was trying to raise the alarm to try to get somebody in the government to say, hey, we need to work together to go try to find this nuclear warhead, none of that ever happened. They knew that warhead was on its way to the United States. That's all that ever came of it. Nothing ever happened. This government did not do anything at all to help this gentleman raise the alarm and raise awareness that there is a very deadly weapon on its way to the United States. It's out there. Nobody knows where it's at now. It left Europe. Now it's gone. So my own guess, is that these drones are not nefarious in intent. If they are, they are, but I doubt it. But if they are drones, the only reason why they would be flying and flying that low is because they're trying to smell something on the ground. That's it. There's no other reason for a drone to be flying in the air other than to piss a bunch of people off at night. That's it. So, my belief is they're trying to smell something on the ground. Gas leaks, radioactive material, whatever. So, and do I think that they're coming up out of the ocean? No, I don't think so. Drones that are multi-copter type drones, not the fixed wing aircraft that look like regular airplanes, but the multi-copters, they only have so much battery life. They have hybrid versions that are gas powered with electric, but those can still only fly for a short period of time. There's no way in hell that any drone is going to go miles off the coast as a multi-copter and fly into the interior of the United States and do a bunch of work and then turn around and fly back. It's just physics will not allow that to happen. So these drones, I believe, are launched from a location that nobody knows, but I do believe that they're flying low enough that they're just trying to sniff the ground and try to find something. So again, I hate to be a pessimist or a guy that thinks, directly to the negative. However, I know as a professional, I mean, we build professional stuff for the military. I believe that they're actually out there trying to smell something that's very important. So anyway, let me know what you think of this video. I'm not trying to gaslight. I'm not trying to scare people. I'm just trying to let people know that this is a serious deal. It's only serious for what the potential could be, or for what the potential is. There's a lot of them out there. They're flying all over. They're flying low. They're flying at night. There's no reason for it other than to smell something. So anyway, God bless. I hope you all have a wonderful Merry Christmas, and let me know what you think of the video.
Well, guys, that was John Ferguson, and he has dropped some bombshell information on us, and it's scary. And I think it's rather interesting how, these leaders, the U.S. government, Washington, D.C., the FBI, John Kirby, they're pretending like they don't know what's going on with these drones, right? I mean, there have been multiple sightings of unidentified drones flying over key areas of the United States, such as military bases and research facilities. And these sightings have raised security concerns, especially given the current geopolitical climate where drones have been weaponized in conflicts such as war in the Ukraine. And, Joe, a retired U.S. Army colonel, a former spokesperson for the U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, he expressed disbelief in the Pentagon statements. He pointed out that the Department of Defense is making contradictory claims. So on the one hand, they say that the drones are not a threat. Now, on the other hand, if they know that the drones are not a threat, that implies that they know what these drones are. So this contradiction has left a lot of people uneasy. Now, I don't want to confuse you guys, but between John Ferguson and this particular John here, but John Ferguson admits that his insider intel may not be 100% accurate, but he did want to share this information with us, which is why I decided to share this information with my audience here with you guys. So it's either A, these drones are here to help, B, these drones are here to harm, or C, we still don't know why these drones are here. But John highlights the public's concerns, especially given the sophistication of modern drones. He notes that in an era where drones can carry explosives, it is alarming that these unidentified drones are operating near military sites without clear explanation. But this kind of makes me believe more about what John Ferguson is saying, because you're not going to tell me a U.S. military base is going to let drones hover overhead without them knowing full well why they're up there. I don't buy that at all. And let me know what y'all think on that. Now, U.S. Northern Command, or NORAD, based in Colorado, is basically, this command is responsible for protecting U.S. airspace. So Joe argues that with advanced systems like AI-based intercept technology, satellite surveillance, and like a $12 billion air defense system, it's kind of hard to believe that the military doesn't know what these drones are or where they're coming from, right? So I'm just personally not really buying that. Then you got the Chinese spy balloon incident. Earlier this year, a Chinese spy balloon floated over the U.S. for like a week before they took any action. And the handling of that incident has made a lot of people skeptical of official responses to these new drone sightings. And if a similar delay or misinformation is happening again, which wouldn't be the first time, kind of raises a lot of questions about the Pentagon's transparency, right? So Joe speculates that these drones could very well be controlled by nearby locations, such as offshore waters close to New Jersey, due to the limited range of their lithium powered batteries. And so he kind of finds a little bit unlikely that these drones are really being controlled from hundreds of miles away. It's just not possible. And New York Governor Kathy Hochul, she's become a lot more involved due to her public concern. Kathy Hochul has essentially called on Congress to pass a bill that's going to give more power to federal and local law enforcement to counter these drone threats. Her involvement, but the thing is obviously if she requests a bill to be passed, how long is that going to take, right? We need answers now. So Hochul is urging the Biden administration to step in and provide additional law enforcement support. But, obviously, don't expect that to happen tomorrow. But Joe strongly believes that the Pentagon knows a lot more than they're revealing. He pointed out the Pentagon has previously misled the public with key events such as the Chinese spy balloon and the situation in the Ukraine. The lack of information just further breeds the conspiracy theories and a lot of public fear. So I feel like if they would just let us know what's going on, we wouldn't have to keep wondering and pondering, right? So Donald Trump, now President-elect Donald Trump, he attended the Army-Navy football game alongside key Republican leaders and some notable figures. In fact, this marked the 5th time Donald Trump has attended this event and celebrated military tradition. Having gone 4 times as president and now president-elect, the game holds some deep personal significance for Trump, reflecting his admiration for military service and patriotism. Trump was also joined by several influential Republican leaders and allies, emphasizing his political strength and future plans. Michael Whatley, chairman of the Republican National Committee, the RNC, he highlighted how Trump's presence at the game demonstrates his respect for the military and his connection with the armed forces. Wadley also pointed out that Donald Trump's attendance is a stark reminder of his commitment to national security and his promise to support the troops. Also notably present was Daniel Penny. He's a former Marine who was recently acquitted in a very high-profile case. So Daniel Penny had been involved in a controversial incident on a New York City subway where he placed another man in a chokehold. Now, many people believe that Daniel Penny was acting to protect passengers. His presence with Trump symbolized support for those who take action to ensure public safety. Key Republican leaders, including Vice President-elect the Speaker of the House, Senator John Thune, the incoming Senate Majority Leader, they were all also at the game. And their attendance just kind of reinforces the whole unified front of the Republican Party and their support for Trump's agenda. In fact, Trump's attendance at the Army-Navy game, it just shows how deep this respect is that Trump has for the military academies and those who serve for the United States. But this message really does resonate with a lot of his supporters and the broader public. Michael Whatley, he noted that Joe Biden has not attended the game as president, emphasizing a contrast between Biden and Trump's visible support for the military. So a lot of people are now like, well, why doesn't Biden attend the Army-Navy games? Like, what's up with that? Anyway, Trump's presence alongside with his potential cabinet appointees and Republican leaders, it sent a very strong message that he's pretty focused on keeping the party united and ready to govern. Inauguration day for Trump, it's going to be January 20th, so it's right around the corner. But during this time at the game, Trump's agenda was underscored by discussions with Republican leaders. His priorities include securing the southern border, ensuring illegal immigration is stopped, rebuilding the economy, lowering costs for Americans in the grocery stores and whatnot, Walmart, Costco, Kroger, you name it, supporting law enforcement to ensure communities are safe, and maintaining a strong military in order to protect the U.S. interests globally. Now, the Republican Party, they're holding a narrow majority in the House of Representatives with 217 Republicans to 215 Democrats. So this tight balance really means that passing legislation requires near complete unity within the party. Michael Whatley, he expressed confidence that Republicans can remain united and advance Trump's agenda. He also stressed the need for bipartisan support on common sense issues like national security and economic growth. But if we look at the Speaker of the House and Senator John Thune, they emphasize their determination to work aggressively in the first 100 days of Trump's presidency. Their focus is going to be confirming Trump's cabinet nominees and passing legislation that addresses issues like energy independence, border security, and lowering prices. So if we look ahead to the midterm elections, which will be right around the corner before we know it, Michael Watley, he believes that if Trump and the Republicans show real progress in these key areas, they will be rewarded. He expressed optimism that Republicans could expand their majority if voters see positive changes in their lives. Trump's attendance at the Army-Navy game with top Republican leaders and figures like Daniel Penny really kind of symbolize this ongoing, this never failing commitment to the military, to public safety, to national security. And this particular event really just kind of reinforced Trump's influence, the Republican Party's unity, and their shared focus on key issues that they're preparing for the challenges of governing in the upcoming days and weeks ahead. So anyway, guys, drop your thoughts in the comments down below. What do y'all think? I know it's a big update, but times are changing and it's very, very concerning. I'm worried about what these drones are looking for. I'm also concerned if these drones don't find what they're looking for, what risks we may potentially face as a nation across the United States, all 50 states. I mean, this could be really serious. So if you haven't already, definitely hit the like button. Thanks so much for subscribing. Share this video with a friend who needs to hear about this because they don't want to share this information for whatever reason on mainstream media, but I am hell-bent on keeping you guys in the loop and informed. Anyway, check out our previous videos. We'll see you guys next time.